Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm sure some of you have some anxiety, right? Whether it's this crazy situation or in general, I just thought we should start talking about it, process it. This is very simple version of, for those who know me, who worked with me, we're just going to zip through it, but just enough to give a little bit of an introduction of the types of anxiety, how to find and discern what's really going on so that you can quickly shift. Okay, so I'm going to do again a very brief slideshow for those who are new, and for those who have done this before, it is just a quick reminder. Okay, so here we go. Anxiety is super common. Let me see, I'm just trying to, here we go. Okay, so you all can see my screen, and you can see my presentation, and you can still see me probably. Anyway, so again, this is just a quick reminder of why we have anxiety. There's different reasons, but in general, it's an overload of information. It's the outside world, it's our work, it's our friends, it's our texting, it's computers, it's our family, our pets, electromagnetic stuff, it's our food, um, parents, the planet, grandparents, what have you, and other stuff, memories from childhood. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, whether you realize it or not, you're bombarded with all of this information all the time. You don't have to be kind of knowing that that you have something going on. Like you don't have to be focusing on a memory for that memory to trigger anxiety. It's almost like it's always there. And so because of that, some days it just becomes like an overload. And your sacred space, your space for you to think clearly gets overloaded. And then the first thing that happens is anxiety. That's why we start to have these thoughts, these crazy thoughts over and over, emotions triggered by these thoughts. And so our sacred space, our space to even think and feel good, gets completely clogged up. And so you can imagine that if your space and your mental space and your energetic space is clogged up, well, you can't think clearly, and then you feel bad. There's kind of like a weird, bad feeling is anxiety. And so, but the question is, what type of anxiety? Because there's different types of anxiety. Of course, the general feeling feels the same, but if we can find the root cause and pinpoint it, then we can go very quickly to that root cause and shift it very quickly. So, of course, one of the root causes of anxiety could be chemical. Sometimes you eat things that you're allergic to, and you don't know that. It triggers a chemical reaction, even though you don't think about it and you think, oh, it's just food or whatever. But you don't realize that even chemically, it's throwing you off balance. And so it starts with that feeling of being off. That feeling of being off is a form of anxiety. Your hormones could be not working properly. You could be taking drugs, or for example, you take certain foods, coffee or what have you. It feels good, but then the hormones and the blood sugar and all kinds of stuff goes crazy. And again, it may not be an anxiety like you're going crazy, but just this feeling, this kind of in the background, this feeling of being off, in your body, even on a chemical level, is a form of anxiety. So that's one way. Structural, you don't think about that, but sometimes if you're structurally, meaning your bones are out of alignment, your joint, you got hurt, you twisted something, you woke up with a stiff neck. Again, it sounds like, oh, it's no big deal, it's a physical thing. But still, your body is already off of alignment physically, structurally, and that is already triggering some like this uneasy feeling. So that is a form of anxiety. So then it gets bigger and bigger, and by the time it gets in your face, you don't realize that it started because you were simply off, even on a physiological level. So just think about that. Of course, emotionally, there's all these emotions going on, especially with what's happening these days. Other people, other friends, or what have you, talk to you. You have an emotional trigger, maybe a sadness, some bad news, or anything like that. And before you know it, this jumble, this kind of bubble of emotions the underlying is anxiety. It's almost like if somebody gives you like a bad news or something, or you read something, it's almost like anxiety is the first trigger for this overwhelming sense of emotional overload. Energetic. So again, we attract certain things energetically, and I talk about internal versus external. Internal meaning my energy is off. Something in my energy field just came in and it just made me feel weird. For example, the energy of a person or the energy of a spirit being or any sort of something that came into my energy. Versus external energy, it's when actually the other way around. External is when something comes into my physical space, my energy field, and throws me off. Internal is when internally my median, my energetic alignment is completely off. And finally, the collective. You wouldn't believe it. I talk about this a lot, but a lot of people don't realize that the collective energy is very, very much a trigger for your anxiety. And why is that important to know? Because if I wake up in the morning and out of the blue, I have no reason, I just woke up, I have this sense of weird anxiety and it's coming from the collective, then at least I know it's not me, and I start focusing on it and I can shift it quickly. Okay? So that's the reason why we want to know the root cause. Now, how do we do that? We start by asking the question, how do we feel exactly? Where do we feel it? In the body. Do I feel it in the chest? Do I feel it in the throat? Do I feel it in the back? Where exactly do I feel it? And of course, you can go to the doctor, get tested for hormones or whatever, and find out. You can do kinesiology. It's hard to do kinesiology on yourself, but if you have somebody who can help you with that, you could do muscle testing to pinpoint where is that coming from, where is it stored. Of course, you can do any sessions, your own an energy session, but also what I want to focus on today is getting your own guidance. Try to figure it out on your own first. So how do we do that? Identify the root cause by asking your heart. Imagine that your heart is a different person. It's like completely not you. It's not attached to you. And it's as if you are talking to this thing. And so what happens is when you first look at it this way, you have an objective kind of sense of what's going on. You get an answer that's more objective than you thinking, getting the answer from you. And so you begin with that, and then you take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then you just go one by one. Is this anxiety chemical? And then if the heart opens up, it means that's not it. You're totally fine chemically right now anyway. If it goes crazy, if it gets constricted or it's weird, then it is a chemical problem. Now, then you go down to the next one and to the next one. Is it structural? Is it emotional? Now, of course, you probably have more than one, because sometimes when you're emotionally off, you're going to throw off your chemistry. And if you're chemically off, you're going to trigger emotions. You're going to go, oh my God, what's wrong with me? What's happening? And so that's the reason why you could have more than one, but it's important to pinpoint the root cause so that you can shift it very quickly. So once you know, you just focus on it. Again, very, very simple, very quick and easy. Imagine that that is the block, whatever you're feeling, and you're going to bring in, it's kind of like you are cleaning, like you're bringing this light that cleanses everything, just like that. So visualize this very, very pure white that has the capability to erase everything. You focus on the part of your body that you have identified that is holding the anxiety, and you just bring it through very, very, very slowly. Oops. Very, very slowly. You bring down this ball of light. Okay, here we go. You bring down, oops, it's starting all over. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to stop. So you bring down this ball of light, and you imagine that is literally erasing the frequency of anxiety in that particular organ. Okay? It's as simple as that. Looks simple, but it's very, very, very efficient, and it really works. So this is a quick fix, if you will. And of course, in the next sections, we will go into deeper and other parts of this series. So what I'd like to do is I want to, instead of me kind of guiding everybody blindly, I'd like to take somebody and walk them through it together so that those who are listening can actually do it on their own. Okay? So here we go. Again. So I'm going to stop the sharing. Let me see, where is this thing? Okay, sorry. Okay, here I am. Here we are. So do we have, Michael, do we have somebody who wants to jump in? Again, this is going to be very, very quick, very, very simple. And the idea is for you to have that tool so that we can keep building on that from week to week. Michael, first of all, are there any quick questions? Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, this is going to be very simple and quick, but we want to do often those little segments like that. So let's see. So do I have somebody waiting who's volunteered? Yes. Let me see. Okay. Here you go. Yay.
Yay, hello.
Hi. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Alaya, and I'm calling from Chico, California, Northern California.
Awesome. Hey, Alaya. So you saw the presentation, right?
Yes.
So tell me very briefly, again, this is like a mini session, like a 10-minute quick thing. So tell me how you experience anxiety, what type of anxiety, and let's see if we can just go through this exercise real quick.
I feel like I experience anxiety most of the time. Honestly, you're going through each part, and I was like, wow, all of those areas. I feel like I did kind of quickly checked in when you're going through. I feel like chemically, I drink coffee, but I feel like it calms me down because I have anxiety from other things. There's just so much going on. I feel overloaded with energy and emotional things and possibly external energy. Just a lot. I'm not quite sure. So, but I felt like my heart was saying yes to external energy and chemical, structural. I wasn't sure about, but yeah.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning and you have anxiety, or does it pop up like in the middle of the day?
When I wake up in the morning, normally I don't. I'm fine. but it normally pops up in the middle of the day if something outside of me happened that triggers it, it seems lately. However, recently I've been having dreams that when I wake up, I feel anxiety from the dreams.
Yeah, dreams are a whole, we're going to talk about that down the road. It has to do with your guidance system. But let's go ahead and go through this exercise. Let's breathe 3 times. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Very slowly. Everybody can do that as well if you want to. That would be a good exercise. And when you're after your 3rd breath, you should be feeling very calm and quiet. Bring your focus to your heart and ask the question. Imagine that your heart is a separate person, completely separate from you, and you're talking to this other person. When you ask the question, is my anxiety triggered chemically? Is that the main root cause? What does your heart do? You can speak through it.
My heart relaxed and it said no.
Okay,
Maybe
so
a little.
that's not the main. It doesn't
Okay.
mean it doesn't get triggered afterwards. But okay, what's the next thing on the list? Structural. Is there something in your structural alignment? What does your heart say?
I feel like I get a little bit of a yes in my heart.
Okay, very good. Let's go down to emotional. What does your heart do? How does it respond?
My heart relaxes more, which is surprising. I thought it was emotional, but it relaxes more to that.
That's my point. When you do this exercise like one at a time, you're surprised. When you're surprised, it means it's the accurate answer because you couldn't have projected it. It's not your own perception. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep going. So it's not just an emotional thing. Let's talk about internal energetic. What does your heart do?
I get a yes, but I don't want to get that answer, but I get a yes.
Okay, very good. Where in your body? Well, we'll go through that. Now, external energetic, something came into your energy field.
I don't really feel either way, or maybe I am blocking the answer myself. I don't really get a yes.
Very good. Excellent. And now finally, the collective. Again, don't project. Ask your heart. If you project, of course, there's things going on, so it's probably that. Not necessarily. Some people can block it off. But when you talk about collective, how does your heart respond?
Again, it's more relaxed and expansive than before, which my head is like, no way, of course it's collective. It's not you, but it's not. So
which are the 2 main points then for you?
Sounded like it was structural and internal energetic.
Very good. Where in your body do you feel that you're holding that misalignment?
I get shoulders, head, and mouth.
Beautiful. Excellent. So let's go ahead and visualize that you're in a sacred space and you're bringing this light that's going to literally erase the frequency of anxiety in every cell in your head, in your shoulders, in all the parts that you just mentioned. Ready? Here we go.
Yes.
Everybody can do the same if you want to. Go ahead. Put yourself in a sacred space. Visualize this healing light right above you. And slowly begin to bring it down through the top of your head. And as it comes down, it scans and erases. It erases the frequency of anxiety. Every cell in your skull, in your brain, in your throat, your jaw, your neck, very slowly. And visualize it erasing, erasing, erasing. Your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your stomach, your lower back, your thighs, your knees, your feet, and bring it out through the bottom of your feet. Now take a moment to now visualize your whole body completely with the frequency of anxiety completely gone, because for you it was structural. So it's gone from every tissue, ligament, muscle, cell. And bring your focus back to your heart. And take your time. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Tell me what you feel. What is different? Do you feel different? Whatever it is.
I feel lighter. I feel very, very different. I feel more relaxed in those areas.
In those areas. And what else? I think you're frozen. Okay. Anybody else while we get her back? Did you guys do it and did you feel something? Alaya, when you're back, you can talk again. Otherwise, do you have any question? Did anybody pinpoint the exact root cause? And as you can see, it's not what you thought. Go ahead. You can type in your question. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Alaya.
I just feel cleaned out, and it's hard to explain. I just see it. It's clear and clean and relaxed, and I'm not shaking in my jaw anymore.
Fantastic. That's it. Do you have anything to tell others about your experience? Was it easy? Was it hard? Were you surprised?
It was easier than I thought. I was very surprised because it wasn't the things that I was thinking in my head that were going on. And I'm actually very shocked and surprised. But it was actually easier than I thought to get the guidance especially doing the breathing and then the sacred space.
So, and you see how simple this was. Super, super simple. But the reason why it's effective is because it's precise. Because you took the time to say, am I working on this? Am I working on that? Okay? All right, guys, this is pretty much it. We're going to keep doing this a little bit every week. So keep practicing. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much.